So I've been doing this fashion photography thing for about a decade now. And last fall during this campaign shoot, I got to thinking, based on what I know now, if I had to start all over again, what would you do different? Here are 5 things I wish I knew when I got started in fashion photography. So number 1 on this list for me is clients don't care about what gear you use, only about results. What do I mean by this? Sure, every now and then you may find a client who's interested in gear, but the reality of it is, at least in my experience, these people normally are like hobbyists that have been playing with photography, so they get interested in your gear just to spark conversation. But 99.9% of clients are not interested in what camera you're using or what brand of lights do you use. I know for me personally, when I first started, I struggled with this a lot because I used to think that I needed to have all pro photo lights in order to impress my clients when I showed up on set, or I needed a certain amount of lenses to be able to display all 12 lenses on top of a table to impress a client. And I still have yet to experience such a thing. What truly matters is the content that you produce and your ability to produce it consistently. So for this reason, focus on creating quality images and not in acquiring more gear. Since we're already talking about gear, let's jump right into point number 2. Learn to understand lighting. This couldn't be more true for me. When I first got started, I was of the mentality that more gear will make me a better photographer. And that kind of took me to a place where I used to think that more light meant better photos. So this led me in a road to start buying more and more lights because I needed the ability to create 3-point, 4-point, 5-point lighting. But it wasn't until I challenged myself to work with only one light source that I started to grow as a photographer. This led me to be more creative in the way that I will utilize this one light, whether this light source was the sun or one strobe light in my studio. This led me to get more creative utilizing reflectors, subtracting lights by incorporating flags, and so on. That got me to think more creatively and truly start to understand what is happening with the light inside of my shot. Learning how to control and modify light is probably the top skill you are going to need as a fashion photographer. So here we go to number 3, and this is an interesting one. Models are people too. In my first few years as a fashion photographer, I remember how difficult it was to start building a portfolio. And the main reason was because I couldn't find good models to work with, or at least that's what I used to think. The reality is, I held myself back from reaching out to many of the better models in my area. Main reason being, inside of my head, I used to believe that they might have been too good. And why would they choose to work with me? And that kept me away from reaching out. But with the years, on the other side, many of the models felt the same way. They were also nervous to reach out or afraid to reach out because they had similar concerns about reaching out to me. I think it's super important to remember, models are after the same thing you are. They need portfolios too. So these shoots will be mutually beneficial, as we're both trying to create this content to be able to book future gigs. So just reach out, be professional, and talk like a person. Don't be afraid of reaching out, say hello, introduce yourself, and you may be shocked at how many models will probably come back and say yes, that they would like to do test shoots with you. Number 4, fashion photography is a team sport. I know this is a weird one, but there are so many pieces to to having a great fashion shoot, that it may be naive to think that you can do it all alone. You have hair, makeup, wardrobe styling, set design, grip and lighting, anything you can think of. These are just some of the things that are required to create amazing fashion images. If you can, from the beginning of your career, start collaborating with different creatives in the industry. Start reaching out to makeup artists, stylists, hairstylists, set designers, other photographers. This allows you to create a network of creatives that you can then tap into for client shoots. Many of us aim to attract high-paying clients, but have you stopped to ask yourself, do I have the team in place to successfully deliver if the opportunity presents itself? You will need talented people to help you create amazing images. So start building these relationships today. And don't be afraid to partner with other people who are also starting out, because you will learn throughout your process that many of you will end up growing together. That may even be better. You may both be just as hungry to grow and become better at your craft. Number 5, the importance of communication. This is probably the least exciting part of fashion photography for me, because it doesn't involve a camera. It rarely involves photos, but it can easily be the piece that makes or breaks a photo shoot. And I'm talking at all levels, from a paying client to a peer-to-peer collaboration. If you can, from an early stage, focus on enhancing your communication skills. Be prompt on replying to emails, DMs, any type of inquiry. Meet your potential clients where they are. I know many photographers, for example, won't take any bookings through a DM and Instagram. The truth of the matter is, communicate whichever way the client wants to communicate. Hey, I'll give you an example. One of my first 5-figure clients came through a DM. Imagine if I hadn't replied, or if I had told them, oh, I don't respond to DMs, go to my email. Possibly, I could have still gotten that potential contract, but that might have started in the wrong foot. But also, I can't tell you how many times I lost potential clients because it took me too long to reply. It might have been a day or two before I responded. Guess what? Chances are that if they reach out to me, they may have also reached out to someone else. What if that somebody else beat me to the punch? Also, get in the habit of creating mood boards and call sheets for all of your shoots, not only paying clients. These are great tools to effectively communicate a vision and set expectations for potential clients. Let me know if you found these tips helpful in the comments below, or if you have any specific questions or topics you would like me to cover, drop them down in the comment below. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like this video.